In my last couple of videos, I've been talking about documentation, why it's so important, why we do it in the first place. And people have asked me, can you give me an example of when the lack of documentation has hurt a client? So I'll get to that. But first, let me remind you who I am. I'm Nancy Schick of 30-Year Conflict Resolution, and I am an employment attorney and mediator based in New York City. What I've been dealing with for over 20 years is as a litigator, when I had a lot of documentation, it made my job easier. It's helpful for juries and judges and people who are making decisions to have something tangible to look at. Yes, it's sometimes on the computer, but it's still something a little bit more tangible than having to use our imagination and a little more reliable. With that in mind, I'll tell you one of the most common types of cases that I see where the lack of documentation hurt with domestic employers, for example, where they hire a full-time nanny, housekeeper, companion for their ailing family member. And they do what a lot of people do. They ask around, they hire somebody off of a referral, not realizing that they need various workers' compensation, various employee benefits, payroll, withholdings, et cetera. If you're dealing with someone who's full-time, you have to provide all that documentation. If you don't, you're going to be penalized in the same way that any other employer would be. It doesn't matter that you're just a single person hiring another single person. And there's a lot of complexity to this. So it's definitely something you would want to discuss with an attorney if you're going to hire someone either full-time to work in your home, or maybe you think they're part-time, but you're providing them housing, their live-in, then they may and probably most likely will be considered full-time and they're therefore under the same laws as any other employee. If you have questions about that, I'm going to put a link in the notes to the video as always, so that you can set up a consultation with me. And of course, in the meantime, keep listening with your third ear for those hurts you can heal.